What's going on, you guys? Frost here, and I'm back with another video. This is the second video in the series of the 3 videos I'm gonna upload today. This one will be all about the jungle changes in patch 6.9. The mainly focusing on the dragon changes, and yeah, so let's get right into it. They're gonna implement the elemental dragons instead of the dragon there is right now. I honestly think, personally, this is a good change because the dragon that is here right now isn't really an objective. I mean, sure, it's nice to have, but it's just not worth dying over, you know? It's not really an objective like Baron that if you kill yourself over it, then it's gonna be truly worth it. Dragon at this point is just like a kind of thing, you just want to make sure you get at least one dragon so you can prevent the enemy from really getting that 5th dragon. Or you can just, yeah, it's all about preventing that 5th dragon. Any of those earlier dragons don't really matter, and they don't really have that much of an impact into the game. So what I'm hoping with this here is that with these dragons, these 4 new dragons plus the the elder dragon, is that they're gonna be more of an objective. I haven't really looked into any of this. I'm only seeing this for the first time now as well, so I'm just gonna talk about it, see what I think about it, and I'll let you know. So there are 4 new types of dragons: the mountain dragon, the infernal dragon, the cloud dragon, and the ocean dragon. Let's get into the mountain dragon first. Playing the Mountain Dragon permanently grants 10, 20, 30% bonus true damage to epic monsters and turrets. 10, 20, 30%, I'm assuming that if you kill the Mountain Dragon multiple times that it will stack up. That's what I'm assuming here. So I would imagine it's pretty difficult to get the 30%. I don't really like the Mountain Dragon buff, like it looks to be a decent buff, but yeah. Okay, so Infernal Dragon. Slaying the Infernal Dragon permanently grants 8, 16, 24 increased. Wow. This is actually a really nice buff. This is pretty much like, yeah, this is a bit over exaggerated, but it's pretty much a death cap at 3 ranks. Pretty much over exaggerated, but yeah. Decent buff, good attack damage increase, good ability power increase. Nothing much to say about that. Cloud Dragon. Slaying the Cloud Dragon permanently grants 15, 30, 45 bonus movement speed while out of combat. I mean, bonus movement speed is nice to have. Again, if this stacks with subsequential Cloud Dragons killed up to 45, then it'd be decent. If this stacks the way that if you kill this dragon, and this dragon, and then you have the 45, the 24, and the 30, then that's gonna be pretty broken, and you really need to focus on dragons. But I don't think that will be the case, because that will be a bit too strong. However, it might be the case. I haven't played on this patch yet, so I have no idea how the dragon systems really work. But if it's only per Infernal Dragon kill, so let's say I kill 1 Infernal Dragon, I have 8% increased attack damage and ability power, and then I kill the second Infernal Dragon, then I get 16%, then that way it will be a bit more balanced. But if you can kill 3 dragons and get all 3 of the main stats here, I'm not sure. If it works that way, it's going to be really strong, and it's going to be a type of way that you really have to focus on getting dragons, because stacking that up is going to be really important. Either way, it will be fine, I guess. And the Ocean Dragon. Slaying the Ocean Dragon permanently provides a regeneration effect that restores 10% of your missing health and mana every... Oh my god. Every 18, 12 to 6 seconds. This dragon is ridiculous. Reading this is... Wow. 10% of your missing health and mana every 18 seconds. Jeez. That is gonna do a lot. This is probably the best out of the 4 dragons, in my opinion. Just getting this amount of restore regeneration every 18 seconds, every 12 seconds, or every 6 seconds is ridiculous. That gives you insane amounts of sustain. So, if I have to rank these dragons, I'd probably say Ocean Dragon, clear number 1. That sustain is ridiculous. Then I'm gonna say Infernal Dragon number 2. Basic damage increase is really nice to have. I'm gonna say Cloud Dragon number 3 because movement speed is still nice, but not as important as straight up damage and straight up just insane regeneration. And yeah, the Mountain Dragon. I mean, it's nice, but it's definitely the weakest of the 4 dragons. I would consider, like, if you would consider like giving away dragons at this point with this new patch, You can give away the Mountain Dragon and you can give away the Cloud Dragon. However, this one is you should contest this about 90% of the time, unless you really can't, but this one should always be contested. Getting this dragon, getting that much sustain is ridiculous. Again, I'm not sure how the wait, questions. How much do we care about the first I'm not sure how the stacking system works. Does it say anything here? Why reach the first stack now when you can... How does the stacking system work? Does it say anything here? I'm not sure it says anything here. I might be missing something. Anyway, if the stacking system works with each subsequential dragon killed, so let's say you kill an ocean dragon, the first one you get 18 seconds, the second one you get 12 seconds on this, and the third one you get 6 seconds on that. It's gonna be like more difficult to get the stacks off it, so that should be a fine way to do it. I think that is the way to do it, but if you can get the Ocean Dragon, the Cloud Dragon, and the Infernal Dragon and get all three at max stacked with it, then this is pretty broken. So I don't think that will be the case, because that would be too strong, I think. Alright, well, again, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Always contested, 90% of the time contested. Either or and either or. So the Elder Dragon, after 35 minutes, Elder Dragon will no longer spawn. Elemental Dragons will no longer spawn, sorry. In their place, the Elder Dragon will spawn every 10 minutes. 10-minute cooldown on the Dragon buff is a long time. For the next 120 seconds, basic attacks, it's pretty much the 5th Dragon, looks like. Plus 45 per stack of element, so the more Elemental Dragons you have, the more damage this does, okay? For the next 120 seconds, increase... Alright, this is actually pretty sick. So if you have some Elemental Dragons, it increases the power of that Elemental Dragon by 50%. That's a lot. I like that, honestly. I like this new system they have. This makes it's a lot more worth it to contest for dragons. Because right now, at this stage in the game, dragon is really not worth that much, like, honestly. So yeah. Alright, the Rift Herald. So... The Rift Herald spawns at 6 minutes, respawn removed, so respawn removed meaning that's only a one-time thing, I'm assuming. It's yeah, it's only a one-time thing. So yeah, base health up, armor up, magic resist. It's gonna be a bit more difficult to kill early on, it has more damage. This equals out with the more health it gets, because, well, it's more health, so this is more value. So yeah, that's... still the same. It's just more difficult to kill. It has more health, more armor and stuff. So yeah. Glimpse of the Void. The buff duration lasts 20 minutes. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Alright. It's not lost upon death or obtaining... Oh, wow. Alright, so it's a 20-minute buff. If you give this to your top laner, then it's really good for split pushing, looks like. Because 5% damage... Yeah. Give this to your top laner or your jungler. If your jungler is a split push type of jungler. And then just... straight up use this buff for 20 minutes to push out lanes. That's gonna be actually pretty nice. This is actually a really good thing to consider to get up, you should be able to clear this once your jungler has his initial jungle item finished. So about 10 minutes, you should be able to do the Rift Herald pretty easily. You should get your jungle item earlier than 10 minutes, but 10 minutes should be a safe time to get the Rift Herald. Now Baron, just a buff duration increase, seems fair enough. Red and blue buff. They made the red and blue buff stronger, it appears. Blue buff gives a lot of AP actually and a lot of mana regen, and this gives a lot more health regen and just over time damage. But the buff duration lasts, doesn't last as long. I don't know why I had so much trouble with that. It lasts 90 seconds. I mean, I think this is nice. Giving a stronger buff makes the objective more worth it, and just taking some time off the amount you have the buff, I think it's fine. Like, giving a stronger buff for little time, I think I'd like it. Jungle timers. I really don't like this change. I've read about this change a bit before, but they're gonna pretty much just say that counter jungling can go fuck off. Because if you counter jungle the enemy's buff camp, so let's say if you steal their red buff, you will have the timer because you cleared it. But 60 seconds before it spawns, the enemy will also instantly gain the timer. So I really do not like that change. That's gonna make counter jungling like. Sorry, that's gonna make. How do you want to put this? It's gonna make consistent counter jungling a lot more difficult because the enemy will know that the buff will spawn. They will know to be there. So it's gonna make this more difficult. It's less easy to punish the enemy for after you take a camp, after you initially outplay them, pretty much. So that kind of sucks, honestly. Alright, turrets I don't care about. Game pacing, jungle experience. I've read about this before, so pretty much this is, you get more experience from the start. You can buy like a hunter's machete and then you can instantly go into building a main item like Ghost Blade or something like that, and you will not lose any experience from it. Also, based on these changes, the jungler that is clearing the jungle, so with the hunter's machete and stuff, will get slightly more experience, meaning that you will probably, if you keep consistently farming, he will hit level 6 faster than the mid and top laner. That is massive. Because if you hit level 6 faster than your mid or top laner, if you're consistently farming, doing nothing else but farming, right? If you hit level 6 faster than your mid or top laner, then with like a Rengar, for example, a jungler where his ult matters, then you can just ult the mid laner while he is or she is still level 5, or the top laner while he or she is still level 5, and you're already level 6. So let's say you're against an Ahri mid lane and you have Rengar jungle, you can ult her when you hit level 6 and she will still be level 5. Meaning that she has no chance to ult away from you once you ult her. Meaning a bit more of a free kill, pretty much. It doesn't look like much, but it's actually pretty massive, and it can get you that early lead on certain lanes. I really like this change, mainly because obviously I'm a jungle main, so I kind of play a lot of jungle for obvious reasons. It is in the thing, but this means that a jungler can get some more control in the lane early on. If you play for those level 6 junglers, of course. You don't play level 6 junglers if you play like Elise, if you play like Lee Sin, if you play like whoever that's more early game based, then this will not matter too much. It will still help you keep up with lanes if you're ganking more. So I think it's overall a good change. However, this patch, judging it so far with the item changes I've talked about in the previous video, and these dragon changes, I predict that dragon killing junglers, like junglers that can solo the dragon pretty easily, are gonna be really strong this patch. So let's say Kindred. Actually, I can check. Let me. Sorry, that was the wrong one. Let me check the thing here. So let's say Shyvana, gonna be really strong this patch. She can solo dragon no problem. Vi can solo dragon no problem. Let me see. Rengar can solo dragon after you get your jungle item, no problem. Kindred, Kindred, man. This is gonna be a stupid champion this patch, I feel. She can solo dragon. She has a lot of damage with the Blood Razors that I talked about in the previous video as well. She gets even more damage. She doesn't have to scale it up. She is really good at ganking. She's really good at clearing her jungle, and she's really good at killing people 1v1. Plus, she has the invulnerability on her ult and mobility. So, I feel like this champion, Kindred, is just gonna be ridiculously strong this patch. Either they nerf her, or they like need to nerf something else. But I think they should nerf her a bit, because as I look at it right now, she's just gonna be way too strong. So yeah, overall, I like the dragon changes. I think the Ocean Dragon is by far the strongest dragon. The amount of regeneration you get from this is ridiculous, so I do highly recommend contesting every single Ocean Dragon. After that, Infernal Dragons, contest them. Permanent damage increases are nice, and these are just kind of okay. I mean, you could give them away if you want to. Obviously, you don't want to just give dragons away, but if you have no choice, whatever, if a gank is more valuable, whatever, these two dragons are you can potentially give away. These two, you want to contest those two. Anyway, guys, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you want to see more videos from me in the future, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!